What's going on, everybody? It's brettproangel here, bringing you another video. Today we're going to go over Spyral deck profile, because Spyral seems to be the leading deck right now in this format. Even though it can be very sacky and sometimes it's inconsistent, this right here isn't more oriented towards the first turn OTK that they can't get over build. This deck is more of a control based build of Spyral, and I really hope you all can appreciate it. So to start, we got the power boss card, one Spyral sleeper, then I run only 2 master plans, 3 sometimes is overkill. You don't want to draw that card unless you're running like Dark Grepher, but he can be inconsistent. I run 2 super agents. I run 1 Spyral Tough. He's really a control oriented card. Some decks don't even run Tough, they run a 3rd super agent. I mean, I can't say no because I'm really a fan of super agent. He's a really awesome card. I won 1 Spyral Gear Last Resort. And then for the money cards, we got 2 Magician Souls. If you want to run 3, it's highly recommended. I only run 2 because that's all I got right now. But since I don't have a 3rd soul, what I'm doing in replace of that, I'm testing out Spygal Misty. She's actually been really consistent for the control aspect of Spyrals. If I use Super Agent and somehow or drone, and if I know their top card, I can just use my normal summon for her if I don't have quick fix, and then I can just guess their card automatically and I can just draw a free card. It's just consistency, and then I can just link off. So she's in test right now. She's not a permanent card. Once I get a 3rd soul, she'll probably be taken out. But yeah. And then I run 1 drone, 1 quick fix, as we're only allowed. I've been testing Armageddon Knight, and Armageddon Knight has been really good for me. Like, anytime I open up with a hand with no spirals but Armageddon Knight, I seem to end up, like, if not winning, I at least come close in those games. And then the last of the monsters, I run 2 DD Crows. And that's it for the monster lineup. For the spells, I got 3 Called by the Graves. I really need those hand traps because the format is just too insane right now. And I also run 3 Foolish Burial Goods because if all else fails, I can just dump a rescue. It's never a dead card. You will always want to use this. And if you open up with 2, you'll have one for your next turn. So it's really not a bad card. Some people would argue this, but I've been running 3 big reds. People say, you know, it's really searchable. I agree. But you know, with it being a control-based deck, not trying to just set up for the OTK first turn, which could be inconsistent, if I have a 2nd big red in my hand my next turn, I'm almost always going to use it. It's never a dead card. So yeah, there's a big red. And if you don't want to run 3 big reds, I also run 2 Allure of Darkness. Take out a big red for a 3rd Allure, because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 targets for it. And you know, worst case scenario, if you don't have an allure target in your hand but you have souls and you don't want to like allure your soul, just use soul for the draw power. Just dump allure. So allure can be very beneficial in that aspect. And I also run Spyral Mission Assault, only 1 copy because 1 copy's pretty consistent. I run 1 Resort because that's all we're allowed, 1 Rhoda, 1 Terraforming, 1 for 1. This card wins games. If you're not running this card in Spyrals, what are you doing? 1 Foolish Burial. That combined with Foolish Burial Goods, it's just automatic consistency. Like, it feels like you're, you know, negative yourself, but really it's just kickstarting your engine. I also run one Monster Reborn, so I have a lot of revive power in this deck. I have 3 big reds, 1 Reborn. It hasn't proven bad for me so far. I'm still testing, but so far the 3 revivals have been really, really good for me. And finally, my 1 Upstart Goblin. For the traps, I run 3 rescues, as that's necessary. For the longest time I was missing 1 rescue. It's such a dumb card to be missing. But and I also run 1 utility wire. Utility wire has been such a good card to use because I can search this off Quick Fix. And searching this, you know, after you search like big reds and you know, either drone or last resort, half the time you're left without a target for Quick Fix, and utility wire gives me another target. And half the time I have double helix in play and he acts as super agent, so this card is really good in my opinion. And I also run 2 Crackdown. This right here just really helps with the control aspect of the deck, because half the time if they get over my board, I can crack down whatever they're doing, and then I can use either a big red and link off. And there's so many plays I can do with crackdown that it's not even funny. You know, some people have been overlooking this card or side decking it. I actually, for a control build of this deck, I prefer to main deck it because it's really good. Now for the extra deck, we run 2 double helix. That's very necessary in this deck. This card, this next card, is probably the best card in this entire deck. Not realistically, Souls probably is, but this card is the Kickstarter for every combo. It's Barricade Board Blocker. This card is so lethal that it's dumb. If you guys don't know the combo with this, you link off into Barricade Board Blocker with Master Plan. You got to use Master Plan. This is how it works. You use Master Plan as one of the links, and then you discard for his cost, which activates in the end phase of the turn, whether or not he's face up or in the grave. And then you chain link 1 Master Plan, her graveyard effect that a lot of people miss, to get your Spyral Resort and Sleeper or Quick Fix from your deck. Just whatever Spyral monster you want, but in most instances it's them. And you get your Resort, but you also discard your Rescue for him, his cost, dumping Rescue, and then you can use Rescue to bring back Master Plan or Quick Fix. So this card is very good for combo. And then we got Boral Sword Dragon. This card is really awesome. You only, as a good friend told me, you only want to drop this card if you're about to win the game. Never drop this card on your first turn. Only drop Boral Sword if you know you're about to win and you're going for game. That's really helped me to just save my Boral Sword and not just use them too early. And then we got IP Masquerena. She's really good in the control build. I mean, she's good in any build of Spirals, really. Then we got Trigate Wizard. He's probably the core of the extra deck in this deck. You need him. Then we got the 3 Nightmare cards. We got Unicorn, Phoenix, and Cerberus. I don't run Griffin. I don't really see a necessity for it, but I mean, if you want to run it, go for it. Then we got Link Karibo. And then I'm actually missing a few extra deck cards, so I'm running Minerva just because she's not bad in this deck. And if you really think about Minerva, if you end up milling cards, you might be able to hit your rescue. Like if you didn't draw so high and you're able to get her out. Like if you were able to say summon like Super Agent and Tough on your first turn, and then you go into her and mill some cards, there you go, you got a combo. You might hit Assault and then you can summon something else and go into there's just so many different things you can do. And also I'm running this card only because this card right here just wrecks so many decks. This card like ultimately just destroys dinosaurs. This card destroys a lot of decks. A lot of decks have trouble with him. He's a really good card. I can never pronounce his name, so don't mind me. And I also run a Tornado Dragon as a filler. Cards that I would say you need that I don't have right here. Appaloosa. She is the boss monster of the extra deck. She's about $100 card. I don't have that card, but she's very, very necessary. Appaloosa. She just negates any effects. You just set up your board, get Appaloosa, and then the combo, you want to have Appaloosa, you want to have Nightmare Phoenix, Trigate Wizard, and then double Helix with Appaloosa right here. And that way everything co-linked with him can't be destroyed by battle. And there's just so many good things with this. Appaloosa negates monster effects. Yeah, so you're pretty set up. And one card that I would also say worth testing is Boral Load Dragon. You got Boral Sword and Boral Load Dragon. And you could also test Griffin if you really like Nightmare Griffin. But yeah, so overall, that's generally the extra deck. And there's also a few XYZ cards that I would recommend running. I can't pronounce their names, but I'm sure you'll find them in a lot of other builds. Hope you all liked this video. If you have any questions, just let me know. Feel free to answer them. And hope you like the deck build. brettproangel out.